So there was a question on the community about choosing the deployment model, deployment method, I guess, when it comes to Atlassian tools, especially Jira, Bitbucket, Confluence. So this question was asked by Farida. And Farida is asking about Jira, Bitbucket, Confluence downsides to maintaining server and cloud instances of Jira. So the question is, what are the hurdles of doing all new projects in cloud version and later migrating the existing projects in server to cloud? So I guess the question what Farida is trying to ask here is that how easy is it to migrate? So I can understand that if you are trying to start a new project, you can actually do that very quickly on the cloud version of Jira, Bitbucket, and Confluence. You can actually sign up, and within few minutes you will have your instance up and running, and you can get started. So that is of course one advantage of the cloud. But if you want to understand whether you can migrate your data from cloud to server, or maybe it's from server to cloud, it could be the other way around as well. So there is a possibility. I mean, of course, you can migrate between cloud and server, or maybe from server to cloud. But the thing is that when you migrate, so number one, migration is possible. Number two, when you perform migration, you will, in most cases, lose something. So if you are trying to migrate data from Jira server to Jira cloud, so you can definitely migrate a lot of things, but not everything, especially data related to the apps, because you may not have migration path for all the apps. If the app is basically doing something on the fly, maybe the app is not really storing any data, so that might work, because when you go to the cloud version, you can reinstall a similar app or maybe the same app that has a cloud version. And if the app is just displaying the information, then of course you can reuse it. But that is not really the case for all the apps. In most of the cases, you will lose the apps, or rather I should say lose the app data. You may not even have that app anymore on the cloud. So you need to first check if there is a migration path, which is usually not the case. I don't really have a list with me, but let us say you have 5 apps. You can go to those 5 apps vendors website or documentation and find out, or maybe perform a Google search, or maybe check my channel. Maybe I talked about it. so you need to do some research, a bit of research. But I think it is a good idea. I'll probably maintain a page somewhere where I'll write down if there is a migration path for that particular app or not, from cloud to server or from server to cloud. The second thing is that migration itself is not really a simple lift and shift process. You have to plan it, you have to perform it on a test instance, then you have to make sure that everything works as it should be. It will not be smooth, but you have to be aware of those changes from one deployment method to another one. And there is an effort involved, of course. You need to pay someone either to do it, or maybe you can do it yourself if you have time and resources. So there is a cost involved. And at the same time, if you're like, let us say you start using your Jira on server or cloud, and after 6 months, maybe you want to migrate, you may have by that time a lot of other integrations with your existing Atlassian tools. So you also have to worry about those integrations when you move from server to cloud or cloud to server. And I would say, if you have clarity on your usage of the tools and your growth, like in terms of number of people and what exactly you're going to do with those tools, at least for the next couple of years, then spend some time in the beginning and try to understand and figure out which deployment method is the right one for you. Atlassian is now, I mean, we all know about the cloud version of Jira, because there is no server version anymore. There is only data center version. So if you want to maintain Jira on your own server, maybe you have a requirement in your organization where you cannot really afford to host your data outside your own servers, then of course you have just on-prem option, which is Jira Data Center. And on Jira Data Center, you have the option of course, having multiple nodes, and there are advantages of Jira Data Center. But of course, you need to have at least, I guess, 10,000 users, if I'm not wrong, which is the bare minimum. I mean, which is the requirement for Jira Data Center. But in most cases, I think Jira Cloud works, to be honest. And if you're starting, I think just take a look at all the things that you get with Jira Cloud. If you don't have thousands of users, I mean, you can have, I believe there is a limit. And I think in the Atlassian teams recently, Atlassian announced, it was especially in the keynote. I think I also wrote a blog about this. So Atlassian is saying that they, by the way, they have like enterprise plan where they have like a lot of, I mean, your Jira Cloud can have a lot of users. The exact number, I think it is in thousands, but not really like 20,000 or 30,000. But Atlassian is planning to increase the user tier for Jira Enterprise. So let me just take a look at my blog post, because I don't really remember. I think it was 20,000 in the next few months, and the target is to reach or touch 35,000 users. So yeah, that is what I was looking for, looking at my own notes. So I think it is quite enough for most of the users. And all I want to say is, again, migration is possible, but if you know what you're going to do in your organization with these tools for the next couple of years, then I think probably spend some time. You should spend some time making a decision and avoid migration if you can, because right now a lot of people are moving to cloud because they have to. But if you know that cloud works for you right now, then use cloud. And if you have any specific concerns related to the data, like where your data should be hosted, and if you maybe in your organization, I know it is the case for especially banks, for example, they want to keep data with themselves, and that makes sense. And I think for them, there is no doubt that Jira Data Center is the right option. But in most other cases, Jira Cloud is definitely the option moving forward. So try if you can avoid a migration. I mean, right now, if you're starting, then I think starting with the cloud version of Jira and sticking to it makes sense if you don't really have any specific need to be on prem. And that is all I wanted to talk about in this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you learned something new today. Thank you very much. And yeah, one more thing, I think I should mention it. So recently what I did, I think I'll probably share my screen. So recently what I did, I started, so let me first start by showing you my website and going to this link called ravisagar.in/tests. So basically what I thought and what I am planning to do whenever I get time, I am building tests for you in case you want to prepare for, let us say, certification, or maybe you just want to test your knowledge. The idea is not really about certification, because I think it is more about the knowledge, how confident you are. So on my website, I do have these tests that you can try. Right now, of course, they are work in progress. I don't really have a lot of tests, but there are something. There is something, and there are some tests. However, what I tried doing recently, I also tried live streaming on my YouTube channel. And while I was live streaming, I was also showing these tests, like their questions and the answers. So if you open this, let us say this particular live stream, which I did yesterday, I think it was for 7 hours or something. So there is, by the way, some lo-fi music, which is playing in the background. And when you are looking at this particular video, for example, you will get to see these questions and their answers. So do take a look at this if you want to learn Jira. So if you run this video, if you play this video on my YouTube channel, you will notice the test that will appear here. And if you want to maybe just learn Jira, maybe you want to test your knowledge, just keep this running. Maybe on your computer somewhere, maybe in a window. And if you are maybe looking at the video itself, then you might see some test coming up on the. I mean, the test will appear on the screen, and maybe it will help you in maybe testing your knowledge. Simple things, simple tests like what exactly is an issue. I mean, this particular video was on Jira Basics, but I'm working on building more tests. And apart from, of course, uploading the test on the website, I will also do these live streaming a bit more in future if I get a good response. And I thought I'll probably share this with you. So that is all I wanted to talk about today. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you learned something new today. Thank you very much.